gents. So number 6, we carry on from the Muhammad Ali Jerry Koopman fight. And again, there's the picture up there, was always there. It's Jake Kilrain, beat Johnny O'Sullivan. That was the bare knuckle days under the London Prize ring rules. Again, way back at the beginning. But again, that was quite a fight. There was like 7 throwdowns in the fights because the rules were different then. It was more like sort of the modern MMA really in some ways. And there was 24 knockdowns and 26 knees. People had to take a knee, you know, to come up to scratch. So in all, there was like 47 times someone had been on the ground in that long fight. But again, back to this, the history of the title. I will be going over what was about as well. I meant to say the coloured title. Be adding that on later on. But again, just going to go through this all the way to the end to start off with. So I digress. This we got February 10th, 1976. Muhammad Ali defends the title and wins by KO against Jean-Pierre Koopman of Belgium in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Then April the 30th, 1976, Muhammad Ali wins some points against Jimmy Young. Some thought controversial, etc. I thought he got it personally, but you know, horses are horses. And that was in Landover. And yeah, Jimmy Young also beat George Foreman later on points. So that was a good win for him. But I think that was his retirement fight. It was. I swear he retired after that fight. Yeah. And then come back many years later to win the title. And that was the longest separation between someone winning the title and coming back to regain it in modern times. So again, we got May 25th, 1976. Muhammad Ali wins, referee stops the fight against Richard Dunn from England in Munich, Germany. In the 5th round, referee stops the fight against Richard Dunn of England. So, September the 28th, 1976, Muhammad Ali wins and points against Ken Norton over 15 rounds in New York. Yeah, he also fought Norton in San Diego, but he fought him 3 times, a bit like a sort of trilogy of the Fraser sort. Again, not everyone being a world title. But May the 16th, 1977, Muhammad Ali wins some points against Alfredo Evangelista of Spain, and that was in Landover. So we've got September 29th, 1977, Muhammad Ali wins some points against Ernie Shavers, probably one of the hardest hitting, well, heavyweights and fighters of all time. From New York, won him 15 rounds on points over Ernie Shavers. Turn the page here. Yes, so we've got February 1978, Leon Spinks wins and points against Muhammad Ali. Again, he had the record of like the lowest number of fights. I can't remember, it's 6, 7. It was a very low number, and he was Olympic champion. With his brother, they won the Olympic title, but turned pro. Yeah, very few fights. It was one of the least that someone's won heavyweight. Well, the least that someone's won a heavyweight title against Muhammad Ali. But again, he liked the party life, and he got stripped. But that was starting off. That was February 15th, 1978. Leon Spinks wins and points against Muhammad Ali in Las Vegas over 15 rounds. And then Leon Spinks on March the 18th, 1978 was stripped of his WBC title for his failure to defend against Ken Norton. The WC then proclaimed Ken Norton on the basis of his 15 rounds points win over Jimmy Young in the final eliminator in Las Vegas on November the 5th, 1977. Again, very deserving champion Ken Norton, but unfortunately he's blessed with the only guy to win the title, and he never had any world title wins, unfortunately. Some cracking fights as well he had, but yeah, so he's very unblessed with that statistic. But again, cracking fighter Ken Norton, amazing athlete. So we've got the WBC title now. So Larry Holmes wins and points against Ken Norton. That was a classic, like I say. But again, June the 10th, 1978, that was Larry Holmes wins of the US, wins on points against Ken Norton in Las Vegas. And then November the 10th, 1978, Larry Holmes wins by KO in the 7th round against Fredo Evangelista again in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then March 24th, 1979, Larry Holmes wins in the 7th round, again against Osvaldo Acacio in Puerto Rico, from Puerto Rico, should I say, in Las Vegas. Osvaldo Acacio, good cruiser, stepping up. So we got June 22nd, 1979, Larry Holmes wins against Mike Weaver, having a bit of trouble along the way, but again stops him in the 12th round. Referee stops the fight in the Black Hercules, Mike Weaver from the US, and that was in New York. Now, Larry Holmes, September 28th, 1979, Larry Holmes fights Ernie Shavers in Las Vegas and stops him in the 11th round. Again, he fought him twice, Larry Holmes, one a title fight, one not. And yeah, he got put down really bad, but he got up and won both them fights, Larry Holmes. But this one, 11th round, he stops Ernie Shavers, Las Vegas, Nevada. February 3rd, 1980, Larry Holmes wins by KO against Lorenzo Zanon of Italy in Las Vegas, Nevada. And in March the 3rd, 1980, Larry Holmes wins on points against Trevor Berbick from Jamaica. Wins on points over 15 rounds in Las Vegas, Nevada. Then July the 7th, 1980, Larry Holmes wins. Referee stops the fight against Scott Ledoux de Lewis in Bloomington. Again, had a good old long reign, Larry Holmes. He ended up 48-0 before losing a couple of fights, which we come to later on. So, yeah, basically October the 2nd, 1980, Larry Holmes wins against what's left over against Muhammad Ali, 10th round. Again, the sparring partner catches his foe, but again stops him in the 10th round. Referee stops the fight in Las Vegas. Well past it, Ali by then. He was struggling with all tests, fall apart apparently, medical tests, putting his finger on his nose, etc., walking in straight lines. Yeah, obviously suffering health-wise at that point. So, back to statistics. Again, April 11th, 1981, Larry Holmes wins on points against Trevor Berbick. Over 15 rounds, points decision in Las Vegas, Nevada. June the 12th, 1981, Larry Holmes wins. Referee stops the fight in the 3rd round against Leon Spinks in Detroit, Michigan. He would lose to his brother later on twice. When he's getting his 48-0 record, he was going to go to 49, but again he lost a controversial decision to Michael Spinks, which we'll come to later on. Again, it might have been him mentioned something about Rocky Marciano not being able to hold his jockstrap. That again, there's debate whether that contributed to the decision. Again, it depends on opinions, etc. And then November the 6th, 1981, Larry Holmes wins in the 11th round. Referee stops the fight against Ronaldo Snipes. Gets put down by Ronaldo Snipes, but gets up to win the fight. And again, Ronaldo strikes Snipes even from the US, and that was in Pittsburgh. June the 11th, 1982, Larry Holmes wins by disqualification against Jerry Cooney. Totally outboxes him in Las Vegas, Nevada. And then November the 26th, 1982, Larry Holmes wins on points against the rock-chinned Randall Tex Cobb from Houston, Texas. Lovely. Only getting knocked out once in his career, I believe. Randall Tex Cobb. And March the 27th, 1983, Larry Holmes wins on points against Lucien Rodriguez of France. And that was that's a 12 rounds points decision. The distance dropping to 12 rounds there now with a WBC. 12 rounds points against Lucien Rodriguez from France in Scranton. Now, March 20th, 1983, Larry Holmes wins on points against Tim Witherspoon. Again, gives him quite a lot of trouble, Tim Witherspoon, with that cross-arm defence, etc. That was in Las Vegas, Nevada. September the 10th, 1983, Larry Holmes wins. Referee stops the fight in the 5th round against Scott Frank in the US in Atlantic City, New Jersey. December 1983, Holmes relinquishes the WBC title and accepts recognition from the newly formed International Boxing Federation, the IBF. So, for the vacant WBC title now, Holmes has gone off and got the IBF. On August 31st, 1984, Pinklon Thomas wins on points against Tim Witherspoon from Las Vegas. A naturally left-handed guy, Pinklon Thomas, but was taught to fight orthodox rather than southpaw. He had a strong left hand. And he beats Tim Witherspoon on points over 12 rounds. Lovely. And again, both of them started up sort of late-ish in their lives, boxing. I think it was like late teens, etc. Just a little bit of trivia there. So again, June the 15th, 1985, Pinklon Thomas wins by KO against the Black Hercules Mike Weaver in the 8th round in Las Vegas, Nevada. March the 22nd, 1986, Trevor Birdwick wins on points against Pinklon Thomas in Las Vegas, New York. Now, November the 22nd, 1986, Mike Tyson breaks the record of Floyd Patterson and becomes the youngest ever heavyweight champion. And he wins in the 2nd round. Referee stops the fight. Mill Slane, the referee, stopping the fight in Las Vegas, Nevada. Trevor Burke from Jamaica and Tyson from Brooklyn, New York. And again, he goes down a lot of times in one go. Keeps on trying to get up. As a commentator said, he was like a kid in the playpen, getting up and down. But again, he stops the fight. Getting high on the sort of temple, we caught him with a left hook. So, March the 7th, 1987, Mike Tyson wins on points against Bone Crusher Smith from the US in Las Vegas. An ex-basketball player, James Bone Crusher Smith, turned into the Bone Clutcher that night. He was holding him for dear life. Surprise! I think he had a point or two taken away, I'm sure, and he didn't get disqualified somehow, but managed to last the distance. Shook him in the last round a bit. He actually really went for it in the last round, Smith, but that was about the only round. Tyson won Smith's WBA title here, which we'll go into WBA in a minute. May the 30th, 1987, Mike Tyson wins. Referee stops the fight against Pinklon Thomas in Las Vegas. Pinklon Thomas had Angelo Dundee in his corner, but again, it didn't help him against Tyson there. 6th round stoppage. And August the 1st, 1987, Mike Tyson wins and points against Tony TNT Tucker in Las Vegas, Nevada. And that was where he unified the undisputed title. Again, I think he was the quickest to unify the heavyweight title, Tyson. Because in that amount of time, about 2 years, he ended up, less than 2 years maybe, he ended up unifying the title, adding it up with the dates there. Yeah, less than 2 years, so very quickly unified the title. Lovely, and I think I'll leave it there, that one.